You are listening to Finessing the Essay, a podcast where New Design High School students share their stories about crafting their personal essays for their college applications.
Hello, I'm Dr. Scott Conti, founding principal, New Design High School, and welcome to Finessing the Essay broadcast. Here today, I'm sitting with three great men. One is a little bit older than the other two. But let's meet everyone who's at the table today.
Thank you for having me. My name is Success, and I'm a junior.
Nice. I'm Dylan. Post-college.
What do you do here at New Design High School?
Parent coordinator.
And what year did you graduate from New Design High School?
2010. Wow.
Yeah, that's 22 years old. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still young.
Still young.
My name is Manuel, and I'm also a junior.
Nice. Lately in class, we've been studying the whole college thing, including writing college essays. This time next year in April, you kind of have to have a life plan together for the next stage of life, right? So I'm curious to think, what are you thinking about, right? You might have to decide by next April what college you want to go to, or whether you're going to a career program, what you're going to major in, whether you're staying in the city, going out of the city. So talk to me about your thoughts.
So first things first, right? I'm not gonna make too much big steps, but for now, it's best to do internships while you're in high school, like jobs that pay teens, because that's gonna be a good way to make and save money for when you're in the future. And when you're in the future, right, when you have like a nice handful of things on your resume, it'll be easier for you to apply to other positions and jobs.
Is there a place you want to go yet? Like a job you're thinking about, or?
Well, I mean, right now, I'm just doing things based off my interests. I had an acting job last summer. This time, I'm doing the Bronx River Alliance EOS program. Is for, like, environmental cleanup and stuff. And I'm interested in that. I want to be in a field where, like, I could actually help make impact on the planet. Like, people have clean drinking water and food, and I want to help innovate that type of science.
That's beautiful. The planet is burning, as they say. Dylan, can you go back in those years and remember junior year when you were here, and like, how did you decide what to do next?
Yeah, I mean, I was lost. I don't think I knew what I was interested in, but I didn't know where I should go to study that. I took a lot of recommendations from around me. I remember being hell-bent on going away to school, though, just because I felt constrained at home, and I was like, man, if I could go to a 4-year college away from home and just have some life experience that differs from what I know, that would be amazing. Newsflash, plot twist, did not end up going away, stayed in the city, and I think looking back, I probably still wouldn't choose to go away. I would choose to go to a 4-year here, sort of just buckle down and get what I needed to get done. But yeah, that was my mission. Go away and just experience it.
Nice. Manny? What are you thinking for post-high school, Manny?
To be totally honest, I'm still not sure. I have a lot of options. I wrestle for a living, which I have a scholarship for that. But I'm also doing a sport. I mean, I'm also doing volleyball, which I'm looking to get scholarship for those two and find the best one that fits for me and my major and my minor and all that.
What is your major or minor going to be?
My major is either going to be sports management or law and the criminal justice.
Nice way. I think the nice thing about this age is like you don't really have to have it figured out, but you have to figure out a plan, whatever it is. I remember my mom would not let me go away to school. She's like, you're living it. She knew me so well. She's like, if you go away, you're going to be such a disaster there. And so, yeah, she like, you got to stay at home. And then so the colleges there's a very small, I grew up in the suburbs, so it's not like New York City where there's like, but I remember I also wanted to play D1 soccer, and I did not get recruited. So I had to like very specifically pick a school I thought I could make it as a walk-up on. And there was only one choice, and thank God I got into it. But like I remember, like I was like, I can't go to that school. I won't make the team. I can't go to that school. It's going to be dicey. And then there's just one. Threw all my cards down on one. That is not smart, Manny. Don't do that. Don't do what my mother forced me to do. Success, part of this thing is we just wrote college essays. And part of the college process is that you have to make the college love you, right? They want kids who they feel like will be good graduates, will get through the program. So this has been a little challenging for some people. Tell us, like, what are your top 3 qualities that makes you so attractive to a college?
So I feel like my top 3 qualities is like my ambition to like find out and do new things instead of just staying in the same old box. My second one is like, if I'm really interested and determined for like a specific like, subject or like course, I would find like different type of ways to like put myself in a position where I could be actively involved. And for the third one, I'm not sure. I still have to think about that. It's still a lot to think about.
Watch this. We're going to help you out. Guys, what else is success really, really good at that would make him so attractive to a university or a college? Oh, I already see Dylan's head spinning.
I was just going to say decisive.
Yeah.
I think, once success sets his mind to something, he's going to see it through.
Yeah.
Even if it ends up being not what he ultimately wants to do, he's going to complete it first before making that decision.
You're also so damn articulate, bro. Do you like how I did that in an unarticulate way? I was like, you're so damn articulate, bro. You're actually, like, when you talk, you sound so articulate.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, oh my God, Dylan. Remember you back then? You were actually great back then.
Was I?
I mean, just to let you podcasters, since I was the founding principal, I'm still here. I was actually Dylan's principal, and now we're coworkers.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Well, like once you got to college, what things did you kill it at? Like,
Oh, I was definitely sociable.
okay,
Like, I was in so many different clubs that I probably had no business being in. I think I love to learn. So just really anything. I'm very excited about learning things that I don't know. And then, I don't know, third, I am very eager to put that knowledge into practice once I learn it. So I think that's also really good. Like, once I learn something, I'm like, how can I apply this in real life now? So,
which makes it all very meaningful.
yeah.
Just talk about that sociable thing. That is a weird thing about college. Like, and just I grew up in like a suburb, so like you went to school. You went with school with these kids in elementary, and we all moved to the middle school, and then we all moved to the high school. So like you had all these kids, and then you show up at college, and you don't know anyone. Like not one other person I knew went to that school. And I remember on the first day being like, whoa, like I'm gonna be eating alone in the cafeteria unless I make friends real fast. Yeah, very funny. Manny, what's amazing about you?
To be totally honest, I don't think I can even be able to answer that. I feel like it's how everybody else sees me. But if I had to, I would say that I learn stuff really quickly, and I'm always involved in everything. So it's like I'm not on one thing. I'm doing a whole bunch of things that I can use in the future, things that I don't need, and things that I do need.
Yeah. Look, success is like dying to say nice things about. It's about Manny?
Yep.
Oh, I thought so. Go ahead. What else is Manny good at?
So first off, for Manny, he's like really dedicated, especially when it comes to the wrestling. He's been doing wrestling for like, a couple years now, right? And during the tournament, he did amazing. Like, like he did really amazing in the tournament. I'm really proud of him.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd say, Manny, like 9th grade you is like a whole, like 11th grade you is a much different man than a 9th grade you.
Yeah.
Remember how shy you were and awkward and like sports? Could you remember the 9th grade Manny thinking he was going to do sports? Nah. So that's nice. That's nice of you, success. All right. So college is going to challenge you in different ways, right? So like Dylan and I will talk about our past experiences. Like I was very immature going into college, right? Very immature. So made the team. And then all of a sudden, in freshman year of college, I had to try to full-time athlete. I didn't know practices are a day being on a team meant 6 hours a day, and then you would go to class, and then you'd roll home at 8 o'clock at night, and you had homework to do. And I just couldn't keep that life balance around with like other things like friends, social events, college, like girls, right? Like, right? And I got crushed in freshman year. Like, I really did terrible, to the point my coach had to pull me aside and being like, "Do you want to play? Otherwise, you got to get your grades up." So like, I just wasn't ready. What do you think is going to be your biggest challenge in college that you're going to have to overcome to be successful? Oh, success went. I wish you could be here in the studio with us. His eyes are just. He went to like such a deep place of reflection.
It's like, it really depends, because like me thinking about it right now, right? I could change so much things, right? I feel like what will be my biggest challenge is it depends, because like sometimes you get scholarships and sometimes it doesn't add up to enough to where like it will fully support you for college. So I probably like, be trying to find a job, because me, I like to eat a lot, and I kind of have a big spending habit. So I feel like that would probably be a challenge, but that's something I could still overcome.
Yeah. A lot of people have to work through college. So just imagine that, working a full-time job or a part-time job, cool, and like it can be a lot, going from paycheck to paycheck, not figuring out how to pay for textbooks. Textbooks back then were, it's a little better now, but they were expensive.
You got to do taxes in college?
No, you had to buy textbooks for classes often, but sometimes like you literally, this is how it worked in the old day. You'd get your classes and you'd go to the bookstore and you would hand it over, and they'd hand over all these books to you, and they'd be like, "That's $800." And you'd be like, "What?" I think it's got
to have them back.
Yeah, like you actually can sell them back and buy used books.
I'm probably not going to read all of it.
No, that's the other thing. Some of those textbooks are.
Yeah.
Dylan, what was the toughest thing for you in college?
I don't know. I
Wasn't hard at all?
No. I mean, well, I did great my freshman year. It was after that where it started to go downhill for me. And I think it might have just been some perseverance stuff that first year for me. I would say definitely immaturity and how I dealt with that. But after that first year, I kind of felt like, man, this is a little too easy. Like this course that I'm doing, and maybe this wasn't what I should have been studying, and I didn't know how to pivot out of that. So instead of figuring out what I would be successful in school at, I decided to put all that energy into the work that I was doing. And so I slowly went more and more away from school and more into the job field. And I loved the job field so much, it convinced me that I didn't need to go back to school until I hit a stopping point and was like, oh no, I need this degree to continue this thing that I love to do at this capacity. But I was just really immature as to how to navigate that. I also think it had a lot to do with my environment, right? So my family, they didn't know how to navigate that. I came from parents who didn't go to college, didn't know anything about school in America. So that was really hard to navigate too. So everywhere it seemed I could ask for help that was comfortable, I wouldn't get any real help or support. So kind of was just choosing things on my own.
Yeah, no, I felt like my parents did everything for me through high school graduation, and all of a sudden there was just like, we're out. You know what I mean? Like neither of my parents went to college either, but I just remember being on campus being like, I wasn't good at asking questions back then, but I'd be like, I've got a $15,000 bill. I don't know what to do about it. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and you just kind of freeze a little bit, right?
Yeah. I was good with asking questions.
Oh, were you?
It's just
I was
the answers that
terrible
I
at
was getting, I trusted them immediately.
Oh, that's a
which was
terrible
like,
idea.
I was like, hey, do I have to, drop these classes if I never attend? And they were like, no, they drop on their own. And I got to the end of the semester, and they were like, yeah, you got 4 Fs on your transcript. I was like, what?
Oh, my God. Such a nightmare. Manny, what's going to be your biggest challenge?
I think my biggest challenge is just getting into college. Because my grades aren't the best, but I'm working on them. I'm trying to go to a D2 college or D3. So I'm just working on getting my grades up, doing what I need to do just to get into college. I feel like once I get in, I'll be able to just like figure out a schedule, work everything out, and get through college.
I mean, I think one of the challenges too is like find a place that works for you, right? Like you also have to find a place.
Yeah.
Like challenge new designs, you get a lot of attention. It's personalized. You can walk right up to the parent coordinator or the principal who share an office. And there's no doors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I learned this through my struggles. You can do that in college as well.
It's just
They don't
not-
promote it,
Right.
but you can. You have access to every staff member at your school. And without that information, like I was so lost until it was given to me.
Yeah.
And then I started knocking on doors. I met with like the financial aid director of the school. I got to meet the president of the school. Like it was crazy. And it was so easy how they opened up the doors, put me on their schedule. And I just would have never known because no one else knew. And I had to go down a rabbit hole of people to find out that information.
Amazing.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
You did any extracurricular programs in college?
I did lots, mostly around the arts and, mostly around the arts. So I did a lot of visual art stuff and then some music stuff as well.
How was the music stuff?
It was cool. I met with a few like after school groups that did a lot of performing for the school. I think I was only in about 2 performances, but they had rehearsals. They had time where they were planning. They had studio sessions. They had instrument like practice and learning how to play certain things. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to do this. Like the weird thing is like, I remember I didn't know anybody in my school, but tryouts and then preseason was like 2 to 3 weeks before college started. So by the time the first day hit, I made the team. I had like 18 buddies, and that was so helpful to have people you were close with. And I think when you do activities, also you get to know kids, and you always find that 1 or 2 kids who end up being your guys.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, it's cool. Last question. It's a big one, Manny. You ready?
Yeah.
You've been killing it. You really have. Can't wait to hear the Manny Success podcast in the future and realize Dylan and I started it all. What's your advice to give to somebody your age, or maybe somebody who's a junior next year, on like how to handle this whole starting to make a decision about your life that has to happen, right? Because you're not really adults, but you're also not children anymore, right? So what's your advice, success to people?
To kids my like
Yeah,
younger,
like maybe sophomores coming up next year to be juniors, or juniors becoming seniors.
sophomores. Start applying for as many internships as you possibly can, and even after school programs. Like if you're interested in something, right, just apply for it. You know, do the program, get better at what you're interested and good at. Then also, you know, do internships, save money, and also try to manage your expenses. You don't want to be like me, spending a lot of money on food and BS. You know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm always shocked when we look at resumes of kids and there's nothing on it, and it's just like you got to have some proactivity around your life, right?
It's because like most kids, right? They think, oh, I'm 18. Oh, I'll start working right now. But it's best to do it as early as you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, absolutely. Dylan, what's your advice to these poor lost souls trying to figure out their lives?
I would say take yourself a little bit more seriously. Like, take your dreams seriously, take your interests seriously. You know, go for your wildest dreams. Like, actually apply yourself to those things. I think you'll be amazed at what happens, the connections you make, the opportunities that open up when you like pursue it seriously.
Yeah.
And not too seriously, right? Things will change and things will shift, but like the idea of having a plan is taking yourself seriously.
You gotta put something on paper,
Yeah.
right? Like, and how you do that, I think that's success's point. Like, don't be so fucking casual about that thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be set in stone because you don't know, but like, if you're just chilling out, hoping everything's gonna work out, the results are you're gonna get something that may or may not work out, right? Like, yeah. Manny, your advice. You used to be, ninth grade Manny was a mess. Remember that kid? Holy hell. So I know you got some good wisdom in there, Manny, because I've seen it over 2 years. you matured into this great young man.
Yeah, the advice I could give is pretty much just find something that makes you you and rock with that throughout high school and take it with you to college. Because I feel like most colleges don't want a basic nobody. They want you for your story and not just a blank slate.
Yeah.
Probably get into a college program. They'll pay for either your books or help you in college. And throughout high school, don't date girls. Don't
Wow, success. Are you dating anyone right now?
Nah, I just be talking to people.
Okay, good. 'Cause Manny was going to tell you to break up. Yeah, you just got to text her now.
No, you
Text him now.
It's not
Text-
gonna work out.
Dylan,
It's not gonna work out.
Hit up your wife right now. It's done. No, I think you're saying like you got to focus on yourself.
Yeah, relationships in high school
Yeah.
are messy.
I know.
Straight
Have you learned that this year? Do you want me to tell everyone listening who that person is? No, we'll let that go.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been amazing to be.
Well, I got one more piece
Yeah,
of
go
advice.
success.
So you know what Dylan was saying earlier about having connections? I feel like that's one of the most very important things about preparing for the future, because if you have connections, everything's going to go by so easy for you. Because if you know someone who has connections to like a whole bunch of businesses, it can give you a job or a position that's like really hard for other people to get into, but you can get into that because you know someone who has access to that.
Yeah, the fact that like you could be an A student and then you got to go out and apply in the world and you're just another one of 400 A students. You're absolutely right, and I think that's the thing you're talking about is like a lot of this is just you hustling people connections. Like, it's super bright. We're gonna end up on that, guys. That was amazing. Thank you so much. This is the Finessing the Essay podcast. I'm Dr. Scott Conti with Manny, Dylan, and Success. Maybe we should do our own show soon. Maybe. Yeah.
Sounds good. I like it. I like it. It was
We
nice.
might be back.
It was nice.
You have been listening to Finessing the Essay, a Spark Campus Studio production.